Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it'd be a bit of a giggle to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Deezer. There's loads, and all done within a couple of minutes of uploading and finishing your record. Podcasting isn't hard when you've got the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout are passionate about helping you succeed. They've helped us out over at the MBS podcast, so you can join us and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get the message out to the world. Following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know that we sent you. This gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and it helps support our show. So thanks for that, and we appreciate it. Hello and welcome to another episode of the MBS podcast with me, John.
And me, Mark.
Hello. How you doing?
Not bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. We've been doing alright, I think, with the old podcast thing. Seems to be picking up a bit of traction. People seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. So it just makes it worth the effort.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Plus it's a bit of fun in it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kills a bit of time. So, this episode we will be talking about techie stuff. Like, made me giggle because on my notes for the podcast I've actually written...
You've written some notes?
Yeah, well, like...
You've written some notes?
Not like scripted or anything, only like what the overall idea for each episode's supposed to be. Okay. So I've done... episode 3 is gaming and tech, cool stuff, and then in brackets next to it I've written need to research some cool stuff.
Have you researched some cool stuff?
Yeah, kinda. Sort of. Not really. I mean, I've literally had a bit of a goosey this morning at stuff. I mean, the obvious one in it is the launch of the next gen consoles.
Xbox out today.
Xbox is out today, yeah, and PlayStation on the 19th.
Yeah, the proper console.
Get the proper console
for real gamers.
For real gamers. For real. There's an awful lot of PC people that will tell you that you're wrong there. There's an awful lot of PC.
I would imagine so.
Like loads of PC.
To be fair, I've never gamed on a PC ever, so I could never put that into comparison. I'm a console person. Well, it's just easy, isn't it? You buy the console, it's already made. You haven't got to mess about with it, upgrading any graphics or RAM or anything. At the end of the day, I suppose if you spend $3,000 on a gaming PC, you shouldn't have to do that for a few years.
No.
But there is that element of it, and I suppose that's part of PC gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, the building and the messing around. Like with Liz, obviously being a PlayStation gamer, and I
just say a real console gamer.
that said PlayStation gamer. I said that I wanted to build a console killer for the PS5. Yeah, can be done.
Yes, very expensive.
Yeah.
How much does graphics cost?
About $1,000.
Excellent.
So I could buy 2 PS5s
and have £100 spare
for the cost of a games console, for the cost of a graphics card for the PC. Then you've got like realistically 32 gig of RAM that you need, a fast processor so that it doesn't all bottleneck. I mean, you are looking realistically speaking at $3,000 to beating the territory of a PS5 or the Xbox Series X versus 500 quid. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Like, in terms of, like, obviously you're never going to do any video editing. Like, I obviously sit on the PlayStation, I couldn't edit this podcast together, and I couldn't do that, which I could do on a PC. And
who says if they made the software?
Yeah, true. If they made the software for it,
I'm sure there is some sort of video editing.
There ain't.
They used to do the music editing software. What happened, Sony? What happened to that? I used to like that. Well, a music generator, wasn't it, or something like that, on PlayStation 2.
What?
And
like
you had music. It was actually just called music, wasn't it?
Do you know what I miss from the PS1? Where you put demo 1 in, and you'd run it on music, then you'd put a CD in, and you'd have all the dolphins and all the weird shapes and all the patterns and the colours on your tick. Do you remember that?
Oh wow, yeah.
That's
Didn't
what
Pioneer make like a stereo
head unit for the car.
Yeah.
Had the dolphins, yeah.
That was awesome.
What you would
always wanted one of those.
And if you had one of them, you were the daddy.
Yeah,
in
I
the
always
car,
wanted
in the
one.
car world. You
Could never afford it. I was just wanting
They
one.
were well expensive. I think my mate Aaron had one.
They're about £300 at the time.
They were massively expensive. They were cool as fuck. And they had the aux in plug at the front.
Yeah.
Which was well new back then. So yeah, PC, you can do the editing. You can do video editing, because we have actually got a camera running today just as a test thing to see how long it works and how well it works. So you wouldn't be able to edit that. Wouldn't be able to edit the podcast. Wouldn't be able to put that together on a games console. However, I'm not entirely sure, even if I spend £1,000 on a laptop, right, or a basic setup, like, it's still cheaper than building a gaming PC. If I buy a console and a like half decent desktop or a half decent laptop,
if you buy a games console, you're not buying it to do any of that. I don't even go online with my PlayStation, like web browsing or anything, because everyone uses a phone or an iPad or a tablet of some description.
Yeah.
I'm an Apple person, you're an Android person, so
definitely
the opposite equipment to me. However, I have got a Sony laptop, which is just pretty decent. But yeah, I've not really got around to buying any Mac laptops or any computing equipment really. I've just had the phones and the iPads really. Just sort of stick
I think
with that.
the Mac stuff, from my very limited experience of it. Like, do you remember they did the home computers that were like the big bubbles, but they were all brightly coloured? You had like the green one or the purple one or the yellow or the red
big
one.
back monitors.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my stepmum and my stepbrothers and whatnot. They had one of them.
I think it was a bit more restricted then, wasn't it? Because you couldn't really use a lot of other software.
You still can't.
It was limited, wasn't it?
You're still massively limited.
But I find that their products work better. So when you press something, it's there. It's nice and quick. You don't generally get any problems with their equipment.
Yeah.
I just find it works well. However, I'm fully aware that Android devices, obviously Windows computers and stuff like that, the range is ridiculous.
I mean, to be fair,
the amount of products you can buy.
My
is
laptop's
huge.
just had the new Windows 10 full update on it, and I've got to say it's running faster than it did the day that I bought it, which is odd because it's a crappy, like, very old laptop that we use to record the podcast on and edit it on. So nothing fancy, but it's running a lot faster. It boots up quicker. It's a lot, like, they seem to have taken or streamlined it so it works a lot better, and like the clicks are a lot better and whatnot. But then Apple works in obviously a completely different way. iOS works in a completely different way than Windows does, and in the same way that Linux works in a completely different way that all of the other two do. So
I've like, in comparison, like 20 years ago, I mean, Nokia, you bought a Nokia handset, the menu system setup was the same every handset, wasn't it? You had a few more features, the camera might be better, or you might have a few extra little bits and pieces, and I think Apple's very similar. They've got that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You
it doesn't
buy an Apple
change
product. If I turn my iPad on, the setup, the screen setup, the layouts, the settings, they're all set up in the same way. So the ease of use for an Apple product is ridiculous once you've had one, because they're all the same. Like, I've got the iPhone 11 now, and it's amazing. I've had it for over a year. It's great phone. Camera's brilliant. Just works well. I've not had any issues with it. Yeah, I'm all good.
And I would say that I've got the P30 Pro, Huawei P30 Pro, and
the spy phone. Is that the spy phone?
The spy phone. Yeah. Sorry, no. Let's change that. It's not the American spy phone. It's the Chinese spy phone.
Yeah.
It's the Chinese.
Yeah, I've got the American spy phone. You've got the Chinese spy phone.
That's right. Yeah. I've got the.
I hope you're listening.
Yeah. So, but I can't fault it.
I think the camera on it's the best. It's better than my bloody my DSLR that I've got. Convinced the camera's better on there than my bloody DSLR.
I think phones have pretty much wiped out a lot of.
No, yeah, we were saying that earlier.
Digital cameras, yeah. I've got a good digital camera. I can't remember last time I turned it on, if I'm honest.
But it is, isn't it? I mean, I was talking about this the other day. If you go back 10 years,
we'd have a camcorder, wouldn't you? You'd have a camcorder, and then they did camcorders that took high quality photos as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I've still got one in the loft. I've got a pretty decent Sony camcorder. It's in the box, probably for about 10 years with the little cassettes. It'll probably be worth some money one day, maybe
as a collector's piece.
Yeah. We'll stick it in a museum or something.
Yeah. But I mean, it is funny, isn't it? Because we have gone from, like, if you were going, like, you go on holiday, for instance, you take a camera or a couple of cameras, because, like, you'd want one and your wife would want one or your other half would want one, and then you'd have your phone, and then you needed to go out with, like, a full-blown record bag just to carry, like, your phone, your cameras, and, like, do you know what I mean? Your CD Walkman. And all that. Do you know what I mean? But you need to do all of that. Whereas now, you just pick up your phone.
It's literally all on there.
You don't even need to take your wallet with you, do you? If you set up things like Google Pay or Apple Pay or stuff like that, you don't need to take your wallet with you, do you? Unless you're going for big purchases or something like that. But
yeah, I literally use it for everything.
Yeah, like literally with NFC and just tapping and paying up to 45 quid now because
all my club cards and everything are pretty much like saved on there. So any like store card discount cards or reward cards, they're all stored on my phone. It's pretty handy, really.
It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? So you need your keys for your car and your house and your phone. That's it when you go out the door nowadays.
Literally.
Versus like wallet, keys, phone, camera if you wanted to.
Cash, you might take a handful of cash or whatever if you're going out.
Yeah.
I'd choose my
it's
phone.
Nuts, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I understand if you're taking, like, if you're going out to do professional photographs or something like that, or you want to go and get some really nice photographs, going out with a tripod and your digital camera, DSLR or something similar, makes a lot of sense to do it that way.
Yeah, I like the macro and the raw and images and stuff. You're nowhere near in comparison.
Mind you say that. I found yesterday in my camera in the photo settings, raw settings.
Really?
Yep. So I can take raw photos in mine, which is mental.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy. Also, see that Apple are.
We're up to 12 now, aren't we? Apple iPhone 12.
Yes,
that's not long been out, has it?
No.
I've seen one, but and the images, the camera section of that's actually pretty decent, but I've not. The screen quality was excellent. Even you could see the difference between mine and the 12. So I was quite
looking
forward to
direction.
Yeah,
for, Apple finally catching up with.
By the time I get to my upgrade, as all the phone providers now, they're all 2 years. So you're always skipping. I'm always skipping a year.
You do though, didn't you? You do. Yeah. You skip like a model or two.
Yeah.
Like two indentations. I also see that. Just while we're talking about Apple unveil the first Mac computers powered by their own M1 chip, so they won't be using anybody else's computer chips to power their Mac systems nowadays, which means everything they will do will be in on it is, and I'm sure I'm not even sure. I know there are people well more versed in Mac and Apple technology than I am because I don't have a Scooby-Doo.
That's what happens when you've got loads of money, mate, isn't it?
But yeah,
throw it.
But apparently,
whatever direction you want.
And I think this is quite impressive. This is quite impressive as a little stat that the 13-inch MacBook Pro, the new one with their new chip, Apple say that they can now play video for 20 hours on a single battery charge. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's not bad.
20 hours.
No volume. 20 hours, no volume, with the brightness literally down to the minimum.
Yeah. And apparently the new M1 chip will deliver the peak performance of the latest PC laptop chip, which is interesting because that's quite a statement, especially when you've got Intel, who next year are announcing a new load of chipsets. You've got AMD that have just released a whole new load of chipsets, which are quite fancy pants.
Yeah, I had a laptop
expensive
for a few years back with an AMD chip in. It's pretty good.
Yeah, the new stuff that they've done for the desktop / gaming PC world are quite impressive by the looks of it, from the stats that they've done and from like independent reviews from people like Linus Tech Tips, Jay's 2 Cents, and Gamer Nexus, who gets really right into his stuff. But yeah, they look quite impressive, and they've just released their new series of graphics card as well.
Okay.
5000 series, because we've just had a month ago Nvidia.
Oh yes.
They released their
huge.
They released their 3000 series or 30,000 series, or however you want to donate it. So they released all those amidst a bit of controversy where they didn't have any really available in stock, or not many, and those that were sold online were scalped by bots, and also one of their own subsidiary companies was one of the companies behind the bots that were scalping them and then selling them at a massively increased markup over retail price.
Wow.
It's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Love that.
Yeah. Steve at Gamer Nexus actually questioned Nvidia about the subsidiary company, and they were like, yeah, it's one of our companies. That shouldn't have happened. They shouldn't have got new stock in the supply chain line, and they shouldn't have been buying stuff at cheap prices and selling it much higher. Yeah, we'll look into that.
Wow.
So awesome. A lot of, yeah, mate, if you don't make enough, I know what we'll do. We'll create the bots to scalp them all, buy them all back, and then sell them at a much increased price, because that'll buy us a bit of time.
Well, it's happening now, isn't it?
With the consoles.
This morning, eBay, £900 Xbox Series X. That's ridiculous.
There are
absolutely insane.
There are adverts for or from people on eBay who are selling PS5s, inverted commas, that obviously haven't got them yet, but they're selling them for $5,000. Selling them. They've got them listed at $5,000, and it's not like that old eBay trick where you put something that's only a tenner for $5,000 so no one buys it, but you don't have to lose the listing. This is people are putting the listing up saying this will be available for dispatch on. I will have 2 of these, and they will be.
I'll deliver it to your front door, mate, for $5,000.
Oh, mate, that's crackers though, isn't it?
Insane.
That's crackers.
So that's why I can't get one.
Yeah,
because everyone's buying it and selling it, John. I can't get one because everybody's out to make a few quid out of everybody else that's already struggling.
Yeah, this is where our moral compasses are very different, mine and yours, aren't they? Because if I'd had the wherewithal to scalp a few and then charge, like, realistically charging like 800 quid for them, I would have done. I have no morals. I have no morals, mate. I've still got to put food on my table. Do you know what I mean?
But you'll probably find a lot of the people that are doing it are not in that situation.
No,
they're not. They're not. They're probably buying like 50.
Yeah, yeah.
They've probably got loads of money. They're probably already driving around in a Merc or something like that. Just like literally, like, get as much money out of people as we can.
Actually, they're driving around in a modified PlayStation 5.
Absolutely.
That's
in a van. In a transporter, mate. They're literally. That's right. It's like Fast and Furious. Here comes the Curry's lorry. 3 cars.
Bosh. Yeah, rob them. Yeah, well, it makes sense, really, doesn't it?
Unload it. I'll have one. I'll give you $4.55.
I mean, I get it. I mean, it is naughty and it is frustrating because Liz missed out on the pre-order stuff. So,
I didn't, but the company I pre-ordered from decided that they didn't buy enough, and that I'm not allowed it now. So
I'm not going to say it's the box.
Well done, the box. Thanks for that. but apparently, that it was written on the actual sales page. It's a shame that the receipt didn't indicate that too. So. Well, I'll leave that there though.
Yeah, it was. You got a bit angry about that the other day, didn't you?
I wasn't impressed.
No, you weren't impressed. Did you see the other day the Virgin Hyperloop?
Oh, what?
No? Okay. So Virgin in there, like, let's do some crazy shit. Like, let's fly people to space. Yeah, we'll do that. That'd be fine. Then let's do some other nut stuff. Hyperloop. So, like, what film is it? It's something like Total Recall or something like that, where you get in a little pod in like a little station, and it goes flying through a tube, disappears off. Virgin have done it.
What?
They've done the Hyperloop, and they did the test the other day. Now, it supposedly could go up to, I'm sure it was 200 miles an hour, this thing. but their test track was only 500 metres long.
What?
Yeah.
What's the 0 to 60 in this thing?
Well, it did the 500 metre test track in 15 seconds.
Holy
From
crap.
standing still to finish.
Did they go back and get their teeth when they finished?
Yeah, right. So it reached 107 miles an hour or 172 kilometres an hour.
That's
in 500 metres.
Yeah,
that's pretty good, isn't it? That's like not terrible. And it looks like a lot of fun. Like it's built on the idea of like the maglev trains that they have in Japan, like the bullet trains.
Yep.
So it lifts itself off the track and then just like boom down a vacuum tube, which is pretty cool. Like imagine that. Like if like in the future they build them so you can go everywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? If it only takes 15 seconds to do 500 metres, like I'm not very good at maths, so I'm not going to work it out. But like,
well, that's 500 metres. So if you're doing I don't know, if you're doing 5 miles,
the
speed, the top speed is
going
to be higher, isn't it?
200 miles an hour.
So the distance.
If you can do 200 miles an hour,
absolutely insane.
Mate, you could
What's 200 miles? 200 miles from here. What's 200 miles from here?
I don't know. I'll have to have a little go. Oh, I don't even know. Let's have a little
All right, you carry on talking. I'm going to look it up.
So yeah, so I thought that was quite cool. Like you could go from like Dover to London in like next to no time. Apparently you'd be able to get from Gatwick and Heathrow airports to London in 4 minutes.
Wow.
Central London in 4 minutes.
That's awesome.
That'd be smart, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Holy crap. Yeah, so apparently they're also exploring a concept in other countries which include a hypothetical 12-minute connection between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. Mate, that's mental. Like, crazy fun. Like, I definitely would have a go in that. Because you'd have to, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, to say that, no, not going to do it. No. That's nuts.
Well, can you imagine? You could live right out in the sticks somewhere and travel right into a major city within under an hour, I would say. If it obviously within distance. Where are we going? Here we go. I love the way that none of these apps are. This stated miles, and then when I go in, it's kilometres. I can't be bothered to translate all that. Find. Here we go. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll just go on to maps.
I really want, because obviously, like, as you know, I'm into my cycling and riding and bits and bobs. I really want an e-bike, Mark.
You want no seats on your bike, is that what you're saying?
For the bumpy bits.
Yeah.
I want an e-bike.
An e-bike, yeah.
Yeah, man. The full suspension e-bike, because they are just super duper cool. Super duper cool. I think a single charge, and you get up to like 100 kilometres, which is quite a long way. Like, who rides in a day 100 kilometres?
Not me.
No, I don't, and I like riding.
I don't ride anywhere, John, because I don't have a bike.
That is a big flaw in the plan. Go on, where is 200 miles?
Okay, we can get to Nottingham from Dover.
Nottingham to Dover in an hour.
That's not bad, is it?
It was a hyperloop at full chat.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it? Like, pretty good.
It's not bad.
What do your trains go at?
We went 140 kilometres an hour, so 88 miles an hour.
And that's till you hit France, isn't it? They go faster in France, don't they?
No, because we come out onto a loop.
Oh yeah, it's not
onto a
Eurostar,
terminal.
is it?
Yeah, we come out onto a terminal. I think the Eurostar is about 200
It's pretty good,
kilometres
isn't
an
it?
hour.
It's pretty good, isn't it? I mean, that's only like, was it 35 minutes through the tunnel?
It's a 34 minute crossing from Folkestone to Calais or Cocktails back to Folkestone. So it's not bad.
That's not bad, is it? 34 minutes, 26 miles. Is it the English Channel, isn't it? So I think that's from the beach to beach, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it's a lot longer in terms of the train.
about 60 kilometres. Yeah,
that's not bad, is it, mate? Really?
No, can't grumble.
Oh, really? It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I'm sure the Eurostar was about 2.5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Journey from Ashford.
Ashford or
St Pancras. It goes St Pancras and Ashford, isn't it? Ashford International.
Yep.
Straight through
to Paris. Is it? Imagine doing that though in like a bullet tube.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be well smart.
A lot of the little pods out of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Except less dinosaur-y.
Yeah.
You're not going to get eaten by them, mate.
Without the thrill of getting eaten by a T-Rex.
Although, because when you look at the pictures of the Hyperloop thing, there's 2 at the front and then 2 at the back. So a bit like trains where they have 2 of you face forward, 2 of you face backwards in the carriage. That's how it's laid out. So they should actually do that on the back side. They should have a video screen of like a T-Rex chasing you through the tunnel.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Just like a flicker pad of a man running alongside the train.
You know, like those things that I forget what they're called. The little, you see them in like the Victoria and Albert Museum where they spin the little wheel and you look through the side of it.
Yeah.
It's just little animations and then you see the person moving.
Yeah.
I should paint that on the inside of the tube just with one little window, so as you whip past, it looks like it's a little stick man running along the side.
Like waving.
Yeah. See, it's genius. That's what they should do. I wonder how many you have to paint at 200 miles an hour to make that work. Yeah. Anyway.
Quite a few. Yeah. It would be. Yeah, so there's that. There's obviously the US elections happened, and Trump claims it's all fake and that counts are, or that the numbers are wrong, and that it's technology, and probably the Russians again. He'll blame the Chinese.
Oh, it'd be the Chinese this time, isn't it?
Yeah, he's out.
He's funded
he's
by
out,
the Russians,
out to
isn't
get him, isn't he? Yeah, out to get him.
Yeah, done like that. So there's
China.
that. China.
It was China. I think was the words he used.
COVID vaccine.
Oh yes, about 90%.
90%, yeah. 90% effective.
Pfizer's biotech, isn't it?
Yep.
Pfizer's and biotech.
Yeah, buy shares in Pfizer's now.
Yes. They did shoot up a little bit when I had a look.
So that's quite good news, isn't it? And the UK government have said that they will give the first wave or the first doses to people who are
in the vulnerable category.
Yeah, vulnerable category, which is I think they're saying 80 plus, but it will first go out to all care homes.
Yeah, well, I phoned the
down.
doctors this morning actually for my own personal reasons, and there was a message on there saying that obviously once the vaccine comes into play, they were going to contact. So obviously that's my local surgery. I would imagine the government have instructed all surgeries to do the same, but obviously it differs between areas. So yeah, that's a bit of good news.
The crazy anti-vaxxers are out in full force.
Yes,
which is nice.
Don't take it, you'll grow a third eye.
That's right.
I was kind of hoping that would happen, if I'm honest.
Yeah, man. And like, let's be honest, even if it doesn't go right and it goes horribly wrong,
it might improve my gaming, John.
Yeah, right, exactly. We've got World War Z because it will turn everyone to zombies, so that'd be pretty cool.
Or that, yeah. Seen that.
Like, just to be clear here, having the COVID vaccine isn't going to turn you into a zombie. I think we just need to make that clear. It will.
You don't know. Have you taken it, John? Do you know anybody?
I've taken loads of things that turn most people into zombies, and I'm alright, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, well, I think you'll be alright with the COVID vaccine.
I would imagine
because
so.
actually, it's
highly paid scientists.
Yeah, versus Karen.
Yeah. Absolutely insane, isn't it?
Yeah, but Karen's got a mate who's a receptionist at a doctor's, right? And she said that you can't take the COVID vaccine because actually it will make your cousin's cat die.
Yeah, but you can smoke cigarettes with cyanide in.
That's right. That's all right. Yeah, that's fine.
It's all right, mate. I don't see what the problem is.
Don't have a vaccine that might potentially save other people's lives and stop you getting the coronavirus. But
no, why would you?
No, you wouldn't want that, would you? Wouldn't want to be healthy.
No,
that'd be stupid. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Tested on 44,000 people.
Okay, I've not really looked too much into.
Yeah, I think it's 44,000 people that it's been tested on because it's actually it's a derivative of the vaccine that they were creating for SARS.
Okay.
And one of the other COVID infections.
Coronavirus is an umbrella of.
Yeah, it is, and it just so
we're up to 19, aren't we?
And that's why they say that it's 90% effective because it was designed and built for other COVID viruses as opposed to the one discovered in 2019. Yeah, so But still, 90%. Like if someone said to you, right, if you put £1,000 down and it's a 90% chance that it's going to come back as a bet,
You do it.
you'd do that, wouldn't you? Do you know
At the
what I
end of the day, if it helps 90% of the people,
it's worth doing, isn't it?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. If
And
you could have saved 90% of the people that have passed away from it, you would have done it a long time ago.
Absolutely.
And every family member of those people would have done it
Yep.
all that time ago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, you
And
know,
where are we? Like 48,000 deaths in the UK, I think, at the minute
yeah, you
that are
think,
COVID related.
yeah.
So if you could have stopped that, then obviously that would be a.
I don't personally know a huge amount of people that have had it, but obviously it is going around and serious, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you don't just stop the whole workings of a country for no reason.
Yeah. Stop the whole.
Oh, I feel like spending some money, John. What should we do? Let's stop the country.
I saw the meme on Facebook. I know why they stopped the country. It was so that they could change all the batteries in the birds,
Ah, okay.
because that's what it's for. Batteries in the birds.
Batteries and birds.
And the camera's just clicked off, and it's 30 minutes.
Yep.
Well, at least we know where it goes to now. Then it was actually pretty much 30 minutes to the second as well.
Yeah.
So that
bad.
probably means we should finish off this.
No, because I
episode.
don't think we've spoken enough.
No.
No, I don't think we have covered.
Well, the good news is our next episode is just a general chit chat about like anything.
All sorts.
Just anything. There isn't even a specific topic. It is literally like I actually wrote down episode 4, free for all, general nonsense chatter and bullshit.
Okay.
So
We
we'll just carry on with that
yeah,
one in a minute.
Well,
Kill off this
I would
one,
like to say that I did. Speaking in the last episode, I said I've got a new SteelSeries headset. I've tried it the last couple of evenings. I have to say I'm quite impressed. It completely muffles out any exterior sound, so you've got full game sound. You can plug it into a PC and change the settings. I've not tried that, so I won't try and go into that because I've not even touched on that. The microphone is really clear. A lot of the people that I play with said it's absolutely amazing. Sounds like a streamer's headset.
Oh, nice.
The sound quality was excellent. You can mute the mic. There's a button on the back. You've got a dial control for chat and game. There is also a volume control on the headset itself. The game sounds excellent. Used on the PS4. I'd say very good. I've only played COD. I haven't played any other games. But you can hear people walking around the building that I was in.
Oh, really?
And stuff like that. I'd recommend it. It was only £110, so it's not a bad price really.
No.
And they did the 7s, which is basically the wireless version of the 5s, for a 160. So it's an extra £50 for wireless if you're into that. You can go toilet with it on, I suppose.
Carry on talking to mates.
Go in your kitchen and make some grub while wait to come back in. It was really good actually. So in respect to that, I'll definitely recommend it. That's pretty much what I wanted to sort of cover.
Definitely
in
worth
that
it then.
respect.
And what was it again?
It was a SteelSeries Arctis 5s.
Cool.
So yeah,
Nice.
good with that.
All right then, for all you, the top tip there for all you gamers, or a recommendation for you gamers out there.
Apparently, the SteelSeries series of headsets have got an award for the series of their actual headsets. So they've been
They should know what
their
they're
whole
doing.
line of headsets as a whole has been awarded. So excellent products. I've never used it before. I've literally gone off of reviews and recommendations, and it's proven to be worth its value.
Good stuff. Nice. Right, well, we'll wrap this up then because we're slightly overrunning. So we shall catch up with you all in episode 4 where we just talk shit,
Yeah.
really.
We haven't just done that now, have we? So
No, so we loosely
we just
spoke
chuck a
about-
little bit in.